It's the most wonderful time of the year.
You're listening to Where You Live with Gene Sullivan.
Welcome back to Where You Live. I'm Gene Sullivan, broadcasting from the True North Painting Studios. This show is brought to you by Extreme Exteriors and American Family Insurance, the Kim Bennett Agency. As an American family agent, Kim believes that there's so much more to insurance than the policy itself. It's about providing you with dependable protection and services. Kim believes that trust and credibility can't be demanded. It can only be earned by what you say and what you do. Give her a call at 651-482-1598 and tell her Gene sent you. It's time now to hear from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. The MHA Minute is brought to you by Start to Finish Maintenance Contractors. Start to Finish provides 24-hour service for all your home and business maintenance needs. Call Start to Finish today at 952-259-1219 for your home, for your business, for your peace of mind.
Did you know that the top reason renters do not renew their leases is not because of rent increases? The biggest complaint among renters and the most important gauge of renter satisfaction is how the management responds to maintenance requests. Responding to maintenance calls quickly and effectively makes for happy residents. Happy residents make for reduced turnover. Reduced turnover makes for better cash flow. That's just one of the hundreds, thousands of things you can learn from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association, the best, most comprehensive resource in the state for owners of everything from a duplex to hundreds of units, and for townhome and condo associations as well. MHA holds 135 different classes each year for owners and on-site staff, including in-depth certification courses for maintenance and management professionals. In fact, the most widely recognized certifications for apartment industry professionals across the United States were designed right here in Minnesota by MHA. Find out more by visiting mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com.
We're talking about this nasty story from Miami Beach and one of their probably most prestigious condo associations, the Blue Diamond Condo Towers in Miami Beach. And there's just an ugly feud going on, and it gets picked up by all the news wires very quickly because everybody likes the salacious and sensational. And here you have people that are on the board just being ugly, childish in their behavior. Things are not signed, anonymous letters, making huge allegations of sexual harassment and of fraud. And it's just ridiculous. And, of course, nobody on either side is giving any kind of proof, any kind of evidence. They just want to make the claim and then all of a sudden just kind of walk away and let the dust settle. Now the other person has got to try and explain themselves. And I guess the more nervous a person is at trying to answer probably is just proof that, yep, that's the kind of person they are. How do you deal with something like that in your HOA? Well, I want you to know that, this ugliness in politics isn't just relegated just to the HOA. And as I mentioned before, a lot of people at the state state legislature at that level want to impose new statutes each and every year, all throughout the country. Every state seems to want to do it, year after year after year, saying we've got to come up with something to prevent all of this from happening. But it happens in all of politics. This is not new to HOAs. Let me tell you some other stories from politicians from back ago. How about our founding fathers? Negative campaigning in America started even as early as two lifelong friends, John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. Back in 1776, these two gentlemen, along with Ben Franklin, combined powers to help claim America's independence. And they had nothing but, after working through this project together, a lot of admiration and respect for one another. As a matter of fact, this is an interesting note. You may or may not know this, but both Adams and Jefferson both died on the exact same day. And what was that day? Exactly 50 years from the original signing of the Declaration of Independence. So 50 years from July 4th, 1776, these two gentlemen, who ended up becoming friends once again after politics, ended up dying within hours of one another. They were so influential, they were considered the voice and the pen of the Declaration of Independence, the pen and the voice of our revolution. And here's what they said when they got into politics. It says that things got ugly very fast. Jefferson, in his camp, accused President Adams of having a hideous I've got to pronounce this. He called him hermaphrodite. That's right. Jefferson called Adams a hermaphrodite, which means that he was both male and female. He said he was neither, Adams must be, because he neither had the force and firmness of a man nor the gentleness and sensibility of a woman. Adams came back, and what did he say in his campaign against Jefferson? Well, Jefferson's just a mean-spirited, low-lived fellow, the son of a half-breed Indian squaw sired by a Virginia mulatto father. Wow. Adams was labeled a fool, hypocrite, criminal, tyrant. Jefferson was branded weakling, atheist, libertine, coward. Starts from the very beginning. How about let's go back into the 60s with the presidential race. President Lyndon Johnson, seeking his first elective term when he was running against Barry Goldwater to destroy him, and wanted to create a huge mandate for himself. What did he do? Johnson created something very special. It was called a top-secret group after hours known as the Anti-Campaign. The 5 O'Clock Club, 16 political operatives who went out to try and destroy Goldwater. It wasn't good enough just to try and campaign. He had to destroy him. What did he do? Well, they ended up having a joke book about Goldwater entitled "You Can Die Laughing." They created a children's coloring book in the 1960s where little ones would happily color pictures of Goldwater dressed in the robes of the Ku Klux Klan. That's right. They even had, LBJ was known to have one of the 16 of the 5 O'Clock Club who ended up infiltrating and getting on Goldwater's election committee. And they ended up writing letters to columnist Ann Landers, purporting to be an ordinary citizen, terrified at the prospect of Goldwater being president. They infiltrated his Goldwater's campaign headquarters. And when Goldwater was coming out with a campaign message or speech, then the White House ended up immediately being able to capitalize on it. Ugliness in politics, unfortunately, is nothing new. And I don't know that we need, what is the real answer? Can you really devise enough laws to take care of the issue? The real issue here, ladies and gentlemen, is that people need to stand up. What's troubling here with the Blue Diamond Tower Condominium Association is the adults aren't at the table. The adults left the table. And so all that you have left are the people that are becoming active in their HOA, are the people that are self-centered and ugly and have one axe to grind. What does it take? Well, it takes you. It takes you, the people that are in a community. If you want to see change, you've got to see and realize that you are the change. You've probably heard the saying that a lot of people have said when the gun debate has gone back and forth. People have said the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Well, I'm going to submit to you the only way to stop bad folks with bad agendas is with good folks who get involved with good agendas. We need to remember that we've got this great experiment called the United States and our freedoms of liberty and the pursuit of happiness means that we must be in charge. The consent of the governed, my friends, remember that. Give consent to the good folks in your HOA, and these problems won't take place, but you've got to be involved. Well, that's all the time I have for today's show. Thanks for joining me. Have a great weekend, everybody. Look forward to having you here next week on Where You Live.